it's Goldie and I'm back with another video. So I just want to provide a quick update about what's going on in the Diddy trial and what we can expect this week. So this week we'll have testimonies from a few different people: Don Richard, Carrie Morgan, David James, Mia, James Cruz, and Capricorn Clark. So these are a few people connected to Diddy's inner circle and some former employees of Diddy. Now, we understand that last week we heard from Cassie. We started Don's testimony, so tomorrow morning we'll be going over the rest of Don's testimony. We heard from a Homeland Security agent, and we also heard from a sex worker that participated in the freak-offs, and we heard from the hotel security at the Intercontinental. Now, last week was kind of, in my opinion, a slow start to the case. It almost seemed as if we didn't really have a real reason to be in court. Of course, we heard about some really disturbing behavior from Sean, but nothing that really spoke to his three charges, which are the racketeering, the sex trafficking, and the transportation transportation for prostitution charges. It seemed as if we really weren't getting any information regarding those charges or meeting the standard to prove those charges. But baby, this week we getting all the tea, okay? The prosecution is setting everything up, setting the stage so that we can really understand why they charged him with those specific charges and begin proving those charges in a systematic way. Now, if you'll go back to the opening statements, the prosecution mentioned that the proof, the testimonies that will prove those charges, that will really meet the standard for what's required to charge or to find someone guilty of those charges, would not come in order. And I think that this is what the prosecution was alluding to, because last week it seemed, like I said, as if, it was almost kind of, like a what's going on type of situation. But this week they are putting all of the pieces on the board and starting to move everything around so that we can come closer to this guilty verdict. So, as you know, Don Richard was a part of Dirty Money, a group that he had, I think it was back in 2008 maybe, but I'll get that date confirmed. But Don Richard started her testimony against him, and she'll finish up on Monday. We have Carrie Morgan. Now, if you will remember some of Cassie's testimony, and I was able to get access to some transcripts, so I'm going to read out Cassie's full testimony. So aside from what we got from the Inner City Press, we will get the actual reading of the full transcript so we can kind of see what we missed, with the tweeting and live updates. It's really good. What's going on at the Inner City Press is like priceless. I mean, we are so appreciative of that. And then when you add the transcripts on top, you kind of are able to fill in those holes. So you'll know from Cassie's testimony, she mentioned that Carrie Morgan was her friend, and that Carrie Morgan had been beaten up and hung over a balcony by Sean. So we'll go into a little bit of her testimony next week, as well as David James, which is one of Diddy's assistants. Now, this is one of his closer inner circle and one of the people that kind of helped make things go and, help keep things in place. So when we talk about the RICO and proving the RICO, David James will be instrumental in that. And then we have victim number 4, which is Mia. We have been told that victim number 4's name is Mia, and she actually is a former employee. And she has accused Sean of raping her. He allegedly forced himself on her and forced her to perform oral sex on him. And then he followed up by penetrating her in her bed. It was also said that current staff called and repeatedly tried to feed her a story, feed her lines to fabricate the things that she had seen over the years once the indictment came down and wanted her to say that the things that she had seen were just part of a normal relationship. And then we'll also have James Cruz, which is he worked for Diddy, and he helped to instill fear in the witnesses, in Cassie and Mia and so many of the other witnesses, telling them that what they had seen was nothing, not to tell anyone about it or else they would face consequences. And we know that Dawn alluded to some of those consequences before we cut her testimony was cut off on Friday. But then even Cassie was led to believe that her record wouldn't come out, or, her career would be stalled if she said anything. So James Cruz was instrumental in kind of bringing those threats from Puffy forward to the people that he had been inflicting his violence on. And then we have Capricorn Clark. Now, she worked for Diddy, but she left his employment or employee circle back in 2011. It was said that Diddy beat her badly because he believed that she had concealed that Cassie was in a relationship with Kid Cudi. Now, it's said that Interscope actually paid her off and kept her silent during this whole thing, and now she's going to come forward with her testimony. So when we talk about racketeering, when we talk about force, when we talk about coercion, all of those things are gonna start being proven in the next couple days in this testimony. And you know that your girl is on the job. I'm gonna be here every single day from the start of the proceedings to the end of the proceedings each day. I will share as much information as I have possible, and I will have the panel up because I really want to hear what you all think about what's going on in real time. So be sure to like this video, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure you turn on your notification bell so that you'll be notified when I go live and when it's time to hit that panel, and let me know what you think. Okay? Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the morning. Bye.